Since 1940 what?
1937.
37. So 37.
47, 57, 67, 77, 87, 97, 2007, that's 70, and this is the 13th, 75 or 76 years.
Okay, 76.
And we're before Oley.
Five Pointville, wasn't it?
Yeah, 5 Point in Lancaster County.
Oh. I don't know where Five Pointville is.
Heading over toward heading toward like Terry Hill, Effort of that.
3 miles south of Adamstown.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you recording yet?
No.
You're not recording.
Oh, I'm recording, but that's all right.
Okay, you're just getting it straightened out.
I'm just getting it straightened out.
Okay.
Guy, you can come in.
This is.
Guy, you can come in and watch. Listen.
I may.
Well, yes. But
Hi, Guy.
I'm just saying.
Eugene! He and I went to school together.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Same
sir.
class. How you doing?
Fine, sir.
And this is Doug. This is Doug, my second cousin. He's Levi's.
Hiya.
I mean Betty and Levi's son.
Oh, all right. Okay.
And I thought that you were at the same place before, but maybe not. You know, when we were over at that.
Over at school.
With the,
Oh,
well,
I played the show last year. Yeah. Yeah. You.
well, that, yes, but I thought you maybe have met Doug when we were there at that Gideon's banquet in the basement of that one restaurant. But he said he was not sure if he was there that night.
There were a lot of people there, so I don't know.
Anyway,
Yeah, that was a while ago.
like
though.
2 or 3 years, he's thinking. Oh, anyway, now there weren't anything.
Okay.
And I didn't realize you know my sister.
Mary?
Yes.
Well, I know her from being the librarian.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall I start now? Okay. My name is Doug Wegman. I'm a member of the Oley Valley Heritage Association. Today is January 14th, 2013, and I'm here with Clayton Weber, who is 101 years old and has lived in the Oley Valley for 76 years. For the next half hour or so, we'll be talking to Clayton and talk about his life in the Oley Valley.
When I married Eugene Bidding's daughter, she was the only child. He invited me into the tinsmith business as an equal partner. We operated as Bidding and Weber, roofing and spouting. At that time, he knew I went to the business school, so he said I should keep the books. So we charged 40 cents an hour for our work, roofing and spouting. That time, you had no choice of roofing except you had tin, wood, and slate. The rubberoid shingles weren't made yet at that time. And then Second World War started, so the older draft board knew we had a farm. We had bought Pappy Stitzler's farm for $3,000. So they said I should go to raise food for the army. So they put me on the farm. They had points for what you raised by acre. I had corn for so many points, wheat so many points, and vegetables were the highest. So I put 2 acres in vegetables. And I had to report every 4 months what I was doing by the acre. So they said I should raise fruit for the army. They gave me so many points per acre, and the vegetables were the highest. So I put 2 acres in vegetables. I had a sower, Planet Junior. I still have it down in the basement. And then while I was farming, there was on a farmhouse there was what they called a summer kitchen. That time they used, when they did their canning and that stuff, they did that in the summer kitchen. That was across the driveway from the farmhouse. And it wasn't used anymore. I rented the farmhouse, and then I dismantled this summer kitchen. I saved all the wood and cleaned it, and then I built a home with the wood from the summer kitchen. Just wondering where. Then Dorothy and I moved into the house that I had built. I built it all by myself. I did the plumbing and the heating, and the drywall. When it came to the roof rafters, I tied one end with wire. Then I raised up the rafters and nailed one side, and then went over and nailed the other side. And Dorothy and I moved into the house. And when we were over there, then my brother-in-law's parents wondered if I'd build a house for them in Fleetwood. So I built a house for them in Fleetwood. And then, of course, after the war, I sold the cattle that I had raised, and the house next door to us, we were in there, and had a sign outside, home builder, and a lady stopped in and she said, "I never heard of you." And I thought I'd fix that so that they placed on it, the blinker light had a sign out for rent or for sale. So I bought it for $18,000. And I put a sign out, a neon sign, Clayton Weber Home Building and Remodeling. Then a salesman that wanted to sell the horning farm in Fleetwood. So he insisted, and finally I bought that, the horning farm adjacent to Fleetwood. It had 125 acres. And so we joined that into the borough. I don't know, you couldn't do that today, but we joined that to the borough of Fleetwood so that we had water and sewer. So I bought the farm and I laid out the streets, and that's about the stuff I have on my records. You can ask me anytime you want to. But then I call it, I went from tinsmith to land developer.
You said you bought a farm here in Oley?
No, in Fleetwood.
No, the first farm.
The first farm, yeah, it was at the end of Water Street. That's Pappy Stitzer's farm.
Pappy Stitzer.
Yeah,
Okay.
bought it for $3,000.
And is that land still?
Yeah, it was 60 acres because 60 acres under the plow
Yeah.
and 4 acres meadow.
And it was on top of the in this area on Water Street.
Yeah, 1 mile water.
The corner of Stitzer Road.
Stitzer
Oh,
Corner.
in Stitzer. Oh,
And
okay.
Krista's Creations is in the barn that
Mm-hmm.
he used to.
Okay.
Can you tell us anything about the Depression? How bad that was when you were growing up?
Well, see, that time I didn't know it was a depression. I thought it was that's the way life is. And later on, they told me it was a depression.
So when you moved to Oley, 75 year night in the 30s,
1937.
can you tell us a little bit about Oley, the town? How many stores were there? The school?
Well, Route 73 wasn't built yet. Route 73. We had Jake Keane on the lumber yard and Charlie Glaze at the store. Between those two places you could live in Oley without going outside. Charlie Glaze sold most everything. Plowshares, clothing.
Dynamite.
Yeah, I'm not sure about dynamite. But I know my mother-in-law used to go with a basket up to Charlie Glaze for whatever we needed.
And did you marry a girl from Oley?
Yes. Yeah, I saw her that time. Our church at Fleetwood and Bland and Turner Hill used to have conferences 4 times a year. They called it quarterly conference. And I saw this girl, and I thought she was the prettiest thing alive. So we dated for 5 years because she still was going in high school.
Mm-hmm. And
Finally, she said she wanted to be a June bride, so we married the 30th day of June, 1937.
so she was a local family. What was her maiden name?
Bidding,
She was a Bidding.
yeah.
What kind of farm equipment did you have back in the 30s?
I had whatever was necessary. See, Pepper still had a farm, but it wasn't used. That's why when the draft board, they knew about that. That's why they put me on the farm to report. They said to raise food for the army.
Did you use tractors or horses yet?
Tractors, yeah. No, I had no horses. I had a Ford tractor that had its own mind. Sometimes it started and sometimes you had to train pretty much. And I went to the sales and bought equipment that I needed, manure spreader. I know I bought a manure spreader second hand, and I'm not sure why, but when I sold the stuff, I got more for that than when I paid for it.
Did the home?
During that time, I also went to get points. I raised calves. Used to go down to Perkiownville, and if they sold a cow at a high price, they sold the calves for $5. So I had a truck enclosed, So I bought 5 calves, and I taught them to drink out of a bucket. I got some milk from Uncle Ed and mixed some calf meal with it and put it in a bucket and put their heads down in a bucket. I put my finger there, they start sucking my finger until I released my finger, and after a while they were drinking out of the bucket.
They figured they get more from the bucket than your finger.
Yeah. Then I went the second time, I bought 10 calves and raised them. And then I bought some cows, although I had 16 cows at one time.
Now from Oley to Perkiomenville, and I know I've been at the sale in Perkiomen. If you remember back then, how long did it take to go?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could find Perkiomen really.
Do you remember any unusual weather events or like snowstorms or thunderstorms or anything like that from years ago?
I remember one time it was snow, and that time we lived across your house on that side. And I wanted to turn in and I was stuck. And for 3 days we didn't have electric. We had these there coal stove back there. That, I mean a coal oil, a coal oil stove.
Mm-hmm.
We had that for 3 days, and we cooked on the coal oil stove. And that time I had a real pump in the basement, and I put a handle on the wheel, and I pumped water till we had enough for flush toilets and stuff. It was a 100-gallon tank. Because the well over there only gave 4 gallons in it. How did they measure? By the minute, 4
By the
gallons
minute,
a minute, yeah. That's all the well produced. So I put a pump in that didn't pump more than 4 gallons a minute.
So if you got sick, who were the doctors, or where did you go to the doctor?
I had no doctor until my daughter married Joe. Then I asked him, I said, when should you start going to the doctor? He said, around 40. Well, I was past that. He said, go for the doctor's sake. So that when you go, they know what's going on. They don't have to experiment on it.
And how old were you then? About?
Oh, I guess that must have been,
80 something.
yeah, I get probably 80, yeah.
But I imagine Oley had a doctor back then.
Yeah, Dr. Grimm,
Oh, it was Dr. Grimm here in the 1930s.
yeah.
He was my doctor.
I think he came first with a horse. I think Dr. Grimm had a horse.
Did he deliver Joanne and Diane and Stevie?
It must have been, yeah.
But not at home. Like they're in the hospital.
How about the phones back then? The telephones. Party line?
Well, the first phone that I can remember was a thing on the wall and it had a crank. And our phone number was 2 longs and a short. You rang 2 longs and then a short.
And then somebody said the operator came on.
Yeah. That was at home, and we had three other people on the phone at first. So you could hear all the neighbors calling them, and after a while we were the only ones. That's when I was a teenager. Yeah.
And how many brothers and sisters did you have?
Well, with the half brothers and sisters, there were 10 of us. My father had Harvey and Bertha, and my mother had Edwin. So they married. So they started with 3 and added 7 more. My dad said one time, he said, your child and my child is fighting with our child.
And were you the youngest or the oldest?
Second youngest.
Second youngest.
I'm the only one living yet.
But your brothers lived to be pretty old too, didn't they?
Yeah, most of them were in their 90s. Norman died younger. Norman used to have a program that he put together and used to give shows. We had one in Oley where he had 2 cameras, and if he could show a flag just hanging. After a while it started moving. They put the 2 cameras together, and he used to give shows like that. And he moved to where did Norman move to? Nebraska, I think, Nebraska. And while he was showing a show, he fell over and died.
And you and your brothers used to sing together too.
Yeah. We sang together for 70 years. We got in the Guinness Book of Records for being the longest quartet.
Can you still sing?
No, my singing voice went over the hill.
I thought we'd get it on camera.
But he still plays harmonica though.
You still play the
The
harmonica?
harmonica I still play, yeah.
And what else did you play?
But I played the guitar, harmonica and guitar at the same time.
Back when I was young, we call them hucksters. They came around. Can you remember some of the hucksters that came around and sold things door to door?
Yeah. Well, did they call them minstrel shows? I know I went to a minstrel show. They had a truck they went around, and I don't know, that's so long ago I forget. But
Mm-hmm. In your first house, did you have a flush toilet or did you have an outhouse?
Well, at home, my dad had a greenhouse that was attached to the house. So from the house he went through the greenhouse to the other end, and there was an outhouse. But I also knew we had a flush toilet on the 2nd floor at home.
Hmm.
We had a toilet and a bathtub and a wash bowl ever since I remember.
Hmm. Does he still play the harmonica? Can we get him on tape? Play one song?
Where do you have your harmonica, in the top drawer?
No, on the top of my desk.
On your desk.
100 years from now, when somebody sees this tape, they'll see you playing the harmonica.
Okay.
So did any of your other brothers and sisters move into the Oley area, or did they all stay over in
Stayed
Lancaster?
in Lancaster County, yeah.
I'm gonna give it to him so here.
No, what's silent?
Silent night.
Well, thank you, thank you. That was all we needed, was Guy to play the trumpet. We'll delete that.
Okay.
But that was wonderful. Thank you much. Did you have any other?
No.
Anything you'd like to add? Anything else you'd like to say?
I don't think so.
Thank you very much.